Welcome! Happy Friday! TGIF, right? How's everyone doing? Let's see who is here today. We have Christine saying happy Friday, lovely tribe. Jackie, greetings, my fine friends. Melinda, happy Friday. Ciao, Bonnie. Greetings, Ronnie. Friday, Andrea. Happy birthday. Okay, sorry, I had to call you out. Today is also Darla's birthday. So yeah, today's Andrea's birthday. Today's Darla's birthday. I had to carry her down here so that she can make an appearance on her big day. So she is 9 years old today. I love it. Nicole says she can't hear anything. Can you guys type in the chat and see if you can help her troubleshoot that? Lori, hello. You're welcome, Andrea. Lots of birthday wishes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. How's everyone doing? Go out and come back in. Thank you, Jackie, for trying to troubleshoot. Hello, Anik. I've missed you as well. Nice to see you back. Elena and Yvonne. Hello, good morning, Courtney. Hello, Bella. Awesome. Awesome. How's everyone doing? I think that's like the 5th time I've asked today. I feel back on track with Insight Timer. I was here on Wednesday and I did a recap of everything that had happened while I was gone, and it was just not my usual vibe, right? I didn't have to do the research and make my notes of the astrology. So it was really nice to sit with a chart this morning and let the messages come to me. So that's been pretty cool. Ronnie, glad to have you back. Thank you. Good morning, Greg. Nancy says, hi, Jackie, just finished your course. Awesome. How was it? How was your Astrology 101 journey? I hope it served you well. I hope it gave you a little bit of a deeper understanding of what your natal chart is, what it means, and how you can utilize it. Nancy is referring to the Astrology 101 course that I have on Insight Timer. It is 13 days of a basic introduction of what astrology is and how you can benefit from it, how you can use it, how you can apply the planets of your own natal chart, where they were when you were born. And then it also gives a little bit of insight into how to utilize the knowledge of what's actually happening in the sky. Just a little bit. We'll see. I'm working on a shadow work course, so that'll come out probably early next year. Good morning, Deborah. Erin says the doggo is so cute. Lori, how was your retreat? I talked about it on Wednesday. I showed up to the retreat and it was not my vibe, and I politely left. And I had my own retreat. I did not do the 10-day Vipassana that I was intending to. Yvonne, do you need to know the time of birth? I don't. I'm adopted. You don't need anything. Without the time of your birth, there's just less information that you can get from the chart. But I'm of the firm belief that everything happens for a reason. So if there's a reason you're adopted, there's a reason you don't have the time of your birth, there's a reason why you're supposed to see your chart without the houses. You can still see where the planets were in the sky, what signs they were in. You just won't be able to see what houses they fall into. But if it is one of those things that you are very tenacious about discovering, I'm not one of the astrologers, but there are astrologers out there who do something called chart rectification. So they can ask you a million questions about your life and timing of events and all this stuff, and then they can work with you to try to pinpoint the time of your birth. It's a pretty cool thing. I just haven't dove into it yet. Suzanne, good morning from Salt Lake City. I'm awake for the start this time. Beautiful. Awesome. Jackie, you doing TikTok live? I'm asking because there's the tiniest skip in transmission. I am. You think the Wi-Fi is all messed up because of that? I wonder. I'm playing with new things. I'm starting to stream my Insight Timer sessions on TikTok live as well. So yeah, let me know if that's throwing things off, and I can always readjust. All right, so today, good morning, AJ. Today we're here to talk about Saturn. Saturn's my homeboy. I love Saturn. We're here to talk about Saturn. He is stationing direct after a 3.5-month retrograde. So, and then at the end, we're going to talk about, I also titled this like multiple oppositions that'll come at the end. Thank you, Jacqui. So tomorrow, on November 4th, that is when Saturn officially stations direct. He has been moving retrograde, so moving backwards in the sky since June 17th. He started his retrograde at 7 degrees of Pisces, and he's made his way back now to 0 of Pisces. So Jacqui's so excited for Saturn direct. If you want to look at your natal chart to see where this is happening and how it might impact your other planets, your other placements, you can look at 0 degrees of Pisces. So how you would do that, if you are not familiar with astrology, you would look for the Pisces glyph on the outside circle of your chart. So the Pisces glyph is the one that looks like 2 parentheses opposite of each other with a line in the middle. And then you'll see that that takes up a little chunk of your chart. Keep in mind that the natal chart moves counterclockwise. So you would go the opposite direction of how a clock would turn. So look for the start of Pisces. It'll be closer to Aquarius than it would be closer to Aries. 0 degrees of Pisces would be right up against that bit where the Aquarius squiggle lines are. So I hope that that verbal explanation helps if you needed the help. So you can look to where 0 degrees of Pisces is in your chart just to see where Saturn is going to be grinding to a halt and then slowly restarting his transit directly. Let's see what you guys are saying. Good morning, Debbie. Greg says, whoa, Saturn went retro over my Sun and Mars, going direct near my Saturn. Oh, so you're going through your second Saturn return now, Greg. Of course this is a time that you're trying to step out into the limelight and be a meditation teacher. Duh. Saturn in Pisces, sir? Yeah. Yeah, your second Saturn return. Hit me up again. We'll talk about that. Did I not bring that up in our chart reading? I digress. So Saturn in general reviews our structures. He's what limits us. He's the planet that puts things in boxes and keeps us in bounds. Saturn retrograde is a time of reviewing our structures of Pisces, the spiritual, the mystical, the poetic parts of our life. So reviewing your spiritual practices is how I've been phrasing the Saturn return since June. So for the last 3.5 months, you might have been having these thoughts of, do I still vibe with my practice? Do I want to continue with the style that I've been using? Is there anything that I've been doing out of obligation that I can now let go of? Is it just a routine? Or is it actually serving me? So if you've been having these thoughts, or if there's anything coming to mind right now as I pose those questions, that could be Saturn letting you know that like this structure may have got you to where you are, but it's okay to let it go. And I'm thinking specifically in the terms of your spirituality, in the terms of like your ego death. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's all about shedding the skin and letting it go so that you can rebirth into the first sign of Aries again. So Melinda says yes, having a lot of clarity right now. As Saturn begins to station direct, as he begins to walk forward, he's doing so without any other influences from other planets. He's not really aspecting anything in the sky. So, good morning, Marie. To me, this feels like greater clarity as Saturn stations direct. Like Saturn's message is going to be unobstructed, uninfluenced. So this forward movement that he's bringing to you is like pure Saturn, which is... It's not good or bad, right? Because nothing is good or bad. It's just all Saturn. It's not softened by Venus. It's not like radically influenced by Uranus. It's not like expanded by Jupiter this time. Like you're just getting Saturn and that's it. So I do invite you to reflect on the last 3.5 months. Maybe ask yourself, like, what has my meditation practice looked like? And if you're laughing and saying, what meditation practice, that's okay as well. Is that serving you? What has your mindfulness awareness looked like? What about your breath work? What other spiritual tools have you used in the last 3.5 months? Have you been realizing that a tool is no longer for you? Are you not feeling the same connection with the tool as you used to? Has anything been presented to you? A new tool that you're like, I wonder what that's all about. Personally, in the last 3.5 months, freaking tea leaf reading has been like in my face. So I bought a book about reading tea leaves, which I haven't started yet. It's not time yet, but I have the tool. I know that that's going to be a thing in the future. And also scrying is a thing that I've never dove into, but I was at the right shop and they had the perfect crystal ball with the perfect holder and it was the perfect price and I just had to buy it. I haven't done anything with it yet. It's sitting under a cloth, but like it was Saturn in Pisces telling me like it's time to maybe rethink about the tools you're using and to use new things. Along the same lines, I bought the infamous TikTok shadow work journal during Saturn retrograde, right? Saturn wanted me to revisit my practices. And I actually bought it for my husband. It wasn't necessarily for me, but he and I are doing it together, so I'm getting the benefit as well. And yes, Greg, June 17th is when it stations direct. I also am learning. I told you guys the other day that I started taking a course, that I purchased a course. And I know some of you are curious about what course it is. I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to like scream on the rooftops about it, but I'm learning the Enneagram. This is a spiritual structure, essentially. This is a roadmap to doing anything that you want to do. So this is what I'm in the process of learning. This is what came from Saturn in Pisces retrograde for me. So those are just some examples to see if you guys are able to feel into what has maybe been presented to you. Let's see what Suzanne says. I had an interesting thing with Saturn last spring. Woke up from an intense dream. Even told my husband all about Saturn, limits and aging. Told him that now that our parents are gone, we have to be the wise ones. I later looked and realized that the sun was transiting over my natal Saturn exact. I feel like he's my friend now. I love that, Suzanne. That makes so much sense. I've had those dreams before where they're like planetary dreams. I think that's so cool. And that's exactly Saturn. He's the disciplinary parent. So if the sun was transiting over your natal Saturn, yeah, be your own disciplinary, be your own parent. Love that. Anique, it's been a little sparse, but hey, that's okay. You have to go through the seasons and get what you need when you need it, right? Christine says my first house, Saturn is stationing direct in your first house, and that's loaded with the sun, Venus, and Chiron. It might be a heavy time right now. It might be Saturn telling you, like, all right, cut the BS. You know, it's time to get down to business. It's time to stop trying to take the shortcut. It's time to do the work that you need to do to get what you want. Charlotte has heard about the Enneagram. Yeah, it's one of those things that it presented itself to me, and it was just so, like, I've known this in the past, and I need to remember it now. Chantel says, I've started dream interpreting and learning tarot. Thank you for that reminder. I've also been reading a book about dream interpretation. And that's so cool, Chantel. It's a perfect time to start learning new spiritual tools. So if there's something out there that you've been curious about, just dive into it. Saturn in Pisces wants you to learn the structure of the tools of spirituality, right? Yeah, Chantel, it's so revealing about our subconscious. Dream interpretation is like, it's a lot more intuitive than you would think it is. And like once you learn a little bit of the tools, which I'm not going to get into now because I have a lot more to talk about, but once you start learning the tools and how your dreams want to speak to you, it's crazy. And then you look back at some of your dreams in the past and you're like, oh, I can see exactly what I was trying to tell myself. So, all right, Saturn is stationing direct in Pisces. Book closed on that. Another thing that I noticed about the chart today, tomorrow probably, I didn't look too far ahead, but all of the planets are in feminine signs. Every planet right now is in either an earth sign or a water sign. With the exception, we have the North Node and Chiron are in Aries, South Node is in Libra, but those aren't planets. Those are points, those are asteroids. All the planets, the 10 main planets, are in feminine signs. So there is just a ton of feminine energy available to us right now. What is feminine energy? Receive and transform. That's what feminine energy does. It receives everything, good, bad, ugly, and it transforms it into something beautiful, better, useful, right? So think about, I just love this example. Put feminine energy into the kitchen, right? And you give it a bunch of ingredients. The feminine energy receives the ingredients and they transform them into a meal, right? It's alchemy. You have to like literally blend the things to make a meal. It's not like it's not making a sandwich, right? This is making a sauce. This is making a beautiful, I'm not a good cook, so I can't think of anything right now. It's the same as Mother Earth. You give Mother Earth your compost, she receives the shit and transforms it into fertile soil, which creates new life. Feminine energy, receive and transform. So this feels so beautiful right now this year that Saturn is stationing direct during Scorpio season. Scorpio is the energy of transformation and transmutation. So what shit do you have available to you right now? What moldy food has the universe left at your doorstep? You have options. You always have options in astrology, right? In life, you have free will. You can choose to leave that moldy food just sitting there at your front door on the concrete, and you can watch it and lament on it and just let it spoil and start smelling bad, attracting maggots on the concrete where it can't go anywhere. Or you can fully receive it and allow it to become transformed. So let me read your comments first. Debbie says, I have Pisces, Sun, Rising, and Mercury. I have Sun, Rising, Mercury, and Saturn. Hold on. I have Pisces, Sun, Rising, Mercury, and Saturn is in Pisces, all in my birth chart. So learn tools of structure and spirituality. And my brain's just not comprehending that comment right now. But if you do, so Debbie specifically with the Pisces stellium, and anyone else, if you have 3 or more planets in one section of your chart, so either in its own sign, like in one sign you have 3 or more placements, or in a house you have 3 or more placements, it's called a stellium. That just means that the universe is going to throw a bunch of lessons at you in that area of your life. So there's going to be a lot of focus on that part of your life in this lifetime. Suzanne says, Saturn is transiting Pisces in my 10th house. How are you using spirituality to structure your routines, right? 10th house is Saturn energy. It's how you schedule yourself. It's how you keep yourself on track. Debbie, Saturn normally at 0. Saturn moves, all the planets move, so I don't know what you mean normally at 0. Even if you don't have any planets in Pisces in your chart, when you were born, Pisces was still a constellation in the sky, so it still shows up in your chart, and Saturn is moving over that area of your chart right now. So Saturn might be, it's too long to explain right now. April says, oh, it's our Jay and Bendy dog melting into the sofa. I have such a love for this pooch. And yes, listening. beautiful April. Today's her birthday. It's Darla's birthday. It was at 0. So tomorrow, Saturn is stationing direct. So Saturn has been moving backwards from 7 degrees of Pisces back to 0 degrees of Pisces. Tomorrow, he's going to start shifting in the other direction. So he'll be moving forward through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on degrees of Pisces. Jacqui says, I have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Uranus in Scorpio section. The Sun's in Scorpio. Yeah, a lot of Scorpio lessons for you. So right now, you have the Sun and Mercury and Mars, Jacqui, transiting over all those planets in your chart. I know someone else is in this live right now who has a big Scorpio stellium with a lot of stuff going on. And yes, it is Scorpio season right now. This could be why. That was a perfect alley-oop into my next point. So we're talking about fully receiving what the universe is giving you and allowing it to be transformed. What does that look like? Last night especially, I was reflecting on how much heavy stuff is around me right now. I'm not going through anything like major personally. Well, I guess, I don't know, that's a perspective. I'm going through shifts in my life, right? And around me, I'm seeing a lot of destruction. Like personally, I'm transforming a lot of my inner self. I'm doing a bunch of shadow work. I'm bringing my husband into shadow work. Our relationship is being transformed right now. And around me, people are getting arrested. People are getting murdered. Like this is like, there's so much heaviness in the air, right? Happy Scorpio season. And if I were to let that sit on the concrete, right? So going back to my example, if I were to let that sit on the concrete, that would look like lamenting on it, saying like, why me? Why are all these people going through all this stuff? Those poor people, right? That letting the emotions sit on the concrete would be just looking at the pain and feeling the pain, and that's it. Receiving that and transforming that would look like processing. Okay, so first, you do have to feel the feeling, right? Like I was crying this morning just thinking about what's happening. So now what I can do with this is say, I'm feeling X. This reminds me of Z. What did I learn from Z, past situation? How did Z, past situation, get me to where I am now? How can I use X, current feeling, to get me to A, new beginning, right? So instead of just like lamenting and feeling and, oh my God, the weight of the world is on my shoulders, like it always is. Welcome to being a human. It always is on your shoulders. How can you take those feelings, receive them, and turn them into something new? So there's that whole thing. Bonnie's got the same stuff going around you. Yeah, tis the season, right? That's why, oh my gosh, this is another reason why I love astrology and having an understanding of astrology so much. I knew that this was coming, right? I didn't know exactly. I didn't know the details of what would exactly fall around me, but I knew that we're in Scorpio season, right? The sun is shining through this time of death, rebirth, transformation, the taboo, right? Like it tis the season. So that when you know what's coming, it's a little bit less shocking when it arrives. And when some things arrive, I also love using astrology retrospectively. Like I know someone who just got arrested for something very taboo. And then I just know about their chart and I'm like, oh, they're going through their Saturn return. And it's probably in the 8th house of their chart. Like it's just like, oh, duh, right? Once you have these tools, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand it, so it's not affecting me as much. Not trying to brag, telling you guys that if you learn all this stuff, life gets a little bit easier and you can make more sense of it. Okay, I don't want to make this too long. I do want to get to the cards, but I want to make note that there are multiple oppositions in the sky right now. So oppositions happen when planets are opposite of each other. It creates some tension. It creates a push-pull energy. So just gonna breeze over this. The sun in Scorpio is exactly opposite Jupiter in Taurus. Mercury in Scorpio is exactly opposite Uranus in Taurus. And then we also have Venus in Virgo, opposite Neptune in Pisces. Don't worry about the specifics. The general theme of those three oppositions is water versus earth. Scorpio, Pisces are water, Taurus and Virgo are earth. So this is the push-pull of intuition and emotion versus practicality and reality, remaining stable, right? So this is the perfect time to literally plant your emotions. Take your fear, just as an example, take your fear, plant it into the earth, allow it to break down, and fertilize some courage, right? Take your insecurities, find your insecurities, dig a hole, surrender your insecurities into Mother Earth, allow her to break that down, examine the insecurities, and then nourish the self-acceptance that comes from allowing it to be broken down. So I have examples, right? If you're a practical person, if you like to do physical, tangible things, you can take a literal seed, right? Like go to the store, buy a packet of seeds for 50 cents or $1. Intend that the seed represents the feeling that you'd like to transmute. You can even try, just like sending the energy of whatever feeling you want to transmute into the actual seed. You could breathe on it, you could spit on it, you could do whatever you want, who cares? And then plant it, physically plant it indoors because we're coming into winter. And you can watch the actual plant grow in your house. And you can just have in the back of your mind, like, man, I planted my fear into that pot. Look at all this courage that's growing. And you can watch it and you can feel it actually manifest in your life. You can also, if you're a more intuitive, watery person, you could do this in a meditation. You can visualize whatever emotion you'd like to transmute. Visualize it in your body. Where is it? What does it look like? Watch it leave your body. Watch it get planted down into Mother Earth. Watch it get broken down and turned into fertilizer so that you can watch a time lapse of the new emotion grow. Maybe you even get to harvest the fruit of your labor, right? And then you can ingest it back into your body, right? So you plant your insecurity, you watch the self-acceptance grow, and then consume it again so it is in there. Whole bunch of stuff you could do with this energy. That's it. That's my astrology talk for today. I like keeping myself limited on time. It makes me get this. We're going to pull some cards, but I'm going to read your comments first. Jackie says, just had a light bulb moment, Sun in Scorpio. Beautiful. Beautiful. Does any of this apply to me as a Scorpio? New to this, says Ronnie. Everything applies to everybody. I'll put it that way. If your sun is in Scorpio, that means that you natally shine through this type of stuff. Take that with whatever. The more you come back, the more you'll pick it up. Just use your intuition. There's not much knowledge that you need for this kind of stuff. It really is a lot of intuition. And then if you're curious, you could take my Astrology 101 course, and that'll give you that little bit of knowledge. Greg can relate to the death and rebirth. Lori loves the great idea. Chantel, good idea. I have a bonsai tree I want to plant, so I'll do this. I love that. I was actually thinking about, I have a money tree in my house, and it was just universal timing, right? So I have this money tree and I'm watching it grow, and it is getting bigger, and I'm like, wow, that's like my actual money, and it's growing and it's flourishing. And then my husband redid the closet with his friend, and he did not take the plant out of the room when they were doing all the drywall. And I wasn't thinking, right? So then afterwards I was like, oh man, there's a whole bunch of dust on this plant. And then the plant started to die at the same time that I was going through a little bit of a financial hit. And then all the leaves started falling off, and just that plant, and we had it, man. We were together, and I'm like, I know you're going to regrow, and I know my bank account's going to regrow, and that's exactly what was happening. It was just so interesting. The symbols all around. Anik, that's a great meditation track idea I'd love to have from you. Thanks, Anik. Maybe Jacqui, you can throw that in our list. Jacqui's been helping me out with some stuff. She's been doing a lot of my clerical mental organization work, so thank you, Jacqui. Already done. You're great. You're great. Yvonne, what site do you suggest for the chart? One says Virgo, another says Leo for my moon. Interesting. Are you putting in the exact time that you were born? If so, I use astro.com. It's just my favorite. There's a bunch. There's like AstroSeek. There's Cafe Astrology. Yeah, astro.com. Elena, I don't think that the house system would move the sign that the moon was in, though. But, like, the moon moves really quickly. So if you don't put in the time of your birth, it'll give you what was happening at noon. If you do put the time of your birth, then it'll look at, like, exactly where the moon was at that time. The moon takes 2.5 days to move through 30 degrees. So if quick math, it's like almost a degree an hour. No. Maybe like half 1 degree every 2 hours, I think, is how fast the moon moves. Suzanne has a stellium in Taurus, lots of oppositions now in Scorpio. No wonder I'm in such a weird mood lately. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on too. Yeah, you get it. You get it. All right, so we are gonna ask the Dragon Oracle cards, what have we learned from Saturn retrograde? What has Saturn retrograde taught us? What has he wanted us to learn since June, specifically regarding our spiritual practice? So group readings are done here if you'd like to send your energy into this deck, maybe tuning into Saturn yourself, tuning into your divine father. Greg, yay, dragon cards. This felt kind of Saturn to me today. So what have we learned from Saturn retrograde? And I'll allow 3 cards to fall out of the deck. They are for all of us. All 3 cards are for everyone here and everyone watching the YouTube replay. I'm going to show you the backs of the 3 cards. So you're going to see this same image 3 times. Okay, that's the back of the card. And I ask you to tune into your intuition to see if any of the cards feel a certain type of way to you. There's no right answer or wrong answer. There's no right way to feel a card or wrong way to feel a card. If you don't feel any pull to any card, then the whole reading is just equally important for you. But if you do feel drawn to a card, that could be just like a highlight, the highlight of this whole message. Again, the whole thing is for all of us. So some things that I've noticed, like right now, if you have a number between 1 and 3 in your mind, that could be your intuition letting you know which card is most strong for you. Or when I hold up the cards, sometimes like I'll feel an itch, I'll feel a twitch, my stomach will rumble, I'll sneeze, I'll cough, you know. Sometimes stuff in my environment will happen, like Darla will bark or something, or like a bird will land on my window, or the house will creak or something. That's all signs and symbols for you. There it is. All right, so we have our 3 cards. I'll show you the backs, same image 3 times, and let me know in the chat which card or multiple cards are calling to you. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Asking, what have we learned from Saturn retrograde? I'll show them one more time just in case. The back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. and the back of card number 3. Let's see. Jacqui is working with 3. April 1, Courtney 3, Melinda 3, Karen 3, Kelly 2, Nicole 1, Greg all, Ginger 3, Alejandra 3, Julia 3, Jean 2, Deborah 1, Sandy 2 and 3, Nicole 1, Jacqui 3 and 2, Bonnie all 3. I got the message to give the fire back to the dragon. Christine 2, 1, 3, Karen 2 and 1, Chantel 1, chest, 2, nose, 3, gut, I'm assuming because the others were a body part. Anique 1 with 2 and 3 secondary messages. Cool. Lori's working with all of them. I will absolutely read all of them. Suzanne 1 and 3, LK 1. All right, we're asking Saturn, give us a recap. What have we learned from you since June? Card number 1 gives us the Earth Dragon. Clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. 4th dimensional Earth Dragons are brown, the color of the soil. They love the planet and the land itself. It was these sturdy dragons who helped to build the original dragon lines that we now call ley lines. Part of their service work is to travel along them to clear them when asked to do so. When we send an instruction to the Earth Dragons to work with the ley lines, they can power away under the surface to clear any blockages. This impacts hugely on people and situations in the vicinity. They can also help to ground us and our mission in this life. It is time to clear unwanted energies that are preventing your life from moving forward. Some of these may be in the earth under your home or office, or where you travel. Call on the Earth Dragons and ask them to remove all that is not in accordance with divine light. Then sense the frequency rising within the land and on your path. This card also suggests you may be called on to do planetary service work, as the Earth Dragons will take the opportunity to cleanse any ley lines you focus on. Take a moment to direct them to clear the planetary grid and visualize the grid glowing and shimmering. When you walk, think of the Earth Dragons and connect with them through the earth. Ask them to ground you and your vision, for this card signifies that they are now boosting your spiritual journey and you are ready to fly. Notice the progress you make. So what have we learned from Saturn retrograde? I feel like if card number 1 resonated with you, this is letting you know that you are here to benefit the whole, right? Earth Dragons are the ones that clear the ley lines. Ley lines are like a sacred grid that encompass the earth. So if this is what we've learned, if the Earth Dragon message is what we've learned from Saturn retrograde, it's like your reach is so vast. So whatever, I focused a lot earlier on spiritual tools. What spiritual tools and practices have you been using? You've been learning that it's not just for you. Like, you can use all of that to heal the physical earth, right? And everything's connected. So if Earth is upgrading her vibration, then we have to upgrade our vibration and vice versa. So if this called to you and like you feel like you do actually want to do earth ley line healing, please, by all means, go for it. One of my clients actually recently, just through all this work that we've been doing together, she's realizing that like this is part of her destiny, is to go like cleanse the area of spirits that are trapped and in places that haven't been able to figure out how to leave. So if like stuff like that is calling to you, that'd be pretty cool. This is all, you could do all of this with visualization. Visualization is a lot more real than people give it credit for. So if you feel like there's something, like the house where I grew up, we just knew that there was negative energy there. 3 couples in a row got divorced in the house, and it was just like a dark, nasty place. If you have anything like that in your current home, in your workplace, in a place where you used to live, just close your eyes and imagine it, and then like let your intuition show you what is there, right? Is there black smoke? Are there red flames? Is there whatever? And then like actually clear it out. See what happens. Andrea, I just watched something on ley lines. Crazy. Well, here's your affirmation. Chantel, wow, got an email as you pulled 1. I need to ground and clear negative energy from my life to clear my chest. Had a chest infection for over a month. Interesting. I love that. Love that, love that. Suzanne, this is so crazy. Never heard of ley lines, but they literally just came up in a murder mystery I finished. When messages continue to come up like that, it's time. It's time. When stuff keeps appearing in your life, it's literally inviting you and asking you, like, learn about me, research me, look into me. Card 1 was spot on for Greg. Cool. Let's see what card 2 holds. What else have we learned from Saturn retrograde? Card 2 is from... Sorry, I just had to stop and marvel at the gold and silver violet flame dragon. Gold and silver violet flame dragon. Transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. You don't say. It's time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. Service. Both the first 2 cards both talked about service. 5th dimensional gold and silver violet flame dragons are powerful alchemists. When they come to us, they transmute the old and allow magic and wonder to be revealed in its place. These glorious dragons work with Archangel Zadkiel and Saint Germain, the Lord of Civilization, and they automatically link us to them when we call them in. Saint Germain was a great magician and dragon master. When we speak his name, a great light touches us. Archangel Zadkiel, too, illuminates us and the dragons when we call him in. The dragons then surround us in gold, silver, and violet flames of wisdom, grace, and transmutation. The violet flames transmute the old and raise the frequency to a higher level. The silver ones bring in divine feminine grace, and the gold ones saturate us with wisdom. This card suggests it's time to let go of an aspect of your life that is no longer serving you. Ask the gold and silver violet flame dragons to clear the thought of it totally from your energy fields. Sense or feel them etherically burning up the old. Then ask them to replace it with new and joyful possibilities that come to you at a higher frequency. When you connect with these dragons, you have a wonderful opportunity for service work. You can send them under the law of grace to any person or place that needs transformation. Remember, you will also be working with Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel, who will illuminate you. So take a few moments now to direct these dragons to heal people, places, situations, and the world. That's very interesting. These two are already working hand in hand. Do you see? It's like the Earth Dragon is here to let you know that Saturn taught you how to heal the Earth. And the gold and silver violet flame dragon is here to let you know that you have the power of transmutation. Healing isn't erasing. Energy doesn't die. Energy doesn't leave. Energy doesn't disappear. It transforms. It has to become something else. So here's your reminder that whatever compost you've taken in, Saturn gave you the tools to transform it, to literally do something with it. Christine's been doing the violet flame meditation each morning. Greg, Bonnie, I'm saturated. Saturated in light. Nancy, I love dragons. I have little silver earrings on. 8 fire signs in my chart. I'm an Aries. Look at that, Nancy. I'm bringing the fire. Chantel raised the frequency to a higher level. Think my intuition is on point. Card 2 was noise. So fitting. I read it as nose, but yeah, noise. It's just noise. And you can turn the noise into a melody. This is a deep deck, Anik. I agree. If you guys didn't see the cover, here it is, the Dragon Oracle cards. Love it. Karen, both cards were spot on. I'm in the process of starting my own healing business, and this is what I needed to hear. Love it. Jean says especially during Scorpio season. Yes. All right. One more card from this deck, and then we're going to pull a card from a separate deck asking a separate question. So we are asking for card 3, letting us know what we've learned from Saturn retrograde. This one comes up all the time. This is the Pure White Dragon from Orion. I feel like I've seen this card like 5 times already from this deck here on Insight Timer. Pure White Dragon from Orion transforms your ascension. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Wasn't there wisdom and grace with this card? Transforms, right? Okay, this is pretty cool. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. Orion is the planet of wisdom, the ability to take the knowledge we obtain through our left brain and use it joyfully for the highest good of all. Beings from many star systems take their understanding to Orion to ask how to use it with wisdom. All the beings from Orion, including the 7th dimensional pure white dragons, carry a special light in their soul. The color white indicates purity, clarity, and advanced enlightenment. Archangel Gabriel, the unicorns, and the Great White Brotherhood all hold this incredible level of purity. Source light is diamond white. As white holds the vibration of truth, when the pure white dragons from Orion shower it onto us, it lights up our own impeccable honor and brilliance. They are preparing us for greater advancement on our ascension path. A pure white dragon of Orion has come to you today to advise you to examine what you know with enlightened eyes. If that doesn't sound like shadow work, I don't know what does. Process any information you are working with through your right brain to discover how to use it for your highest good. The right brain is the intuitive brain. It's the watery brain. The high-frequency dragons from Orion will be with you to help you with this process. They will allow you to advance your spiritual growth and expand your wings of light. When you hold white in your aura, people trust and respect you. This card calls on you to speak your truth, act with honesty, and be totally honorable in all your dealings. This feels like shadow work and light work, the blend of shadow work and light work. Pouring light onto your shadows, illuminating your shadows, pouring light onto the parts of your life that you're not happy with, right? That can also look like, right, so we're talking about like planting the seed of the energy the emotion that we're looking to transmute. The seed would be the darkness, right? Because you have to plant it down into the ground. The water or the sunlight can represent the light. Like you need to shine that light onto the seed in the darkness in order for the new emotion to grow. Process what you know. Transform your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know with light, right? Like, there's so much. I'm trying to put it into words. Your thoughts are not always true. I feel like they're rarely true. Like your mind likes to lie to you and your heart doesn't. So you can think about a situation that's happened in the past, and you can think about your emotions, but then once you pour that white light of truth all over it, you can't see it a different way. You have to see it with truth and integrity and wisdom. Karen, I like this one. Just had another card last week that says the same. Nancy, this resonates. Thought 3. Love that one. It's where I'm at. Karen also. I love it. Chantel says, card 3 was gut for me. Trust my intuition to do with my mom. Provided so much guidance today to do with a difficult situation. Thank you very, very much. Well, thank you for following your intuition to be here, Chantel. We do have one more card. Jackie, this is helpful. I recently pulled a card called Breakthrough. The number was 11. I keep seeing 111 everywhere. Well, this was card number 3. 111. 1, 2, 3. 111. Breakthrough. I like to think about my thoughts in this way. Same. Everything's magical. Everything is magic. It's up to you if you want to admit it. In this way, I have thoughts that are my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. Oh, I like that. I like that. I have thoughts. They are thoughts. I am not my thoughts. Suzanne, process what you know. We bring all our knowledge and experience into the present, so should use it. I love it. Greg, so much wisdom and service in these 3 cards today. Yeah, where does wisdom come from is the challenges that you face in your life. The Enneagram course that I'm taking, the teacher keeps saying, limitations create style. And I like that. Limitations create style. Because if everything was just easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, if everything was just easy breezy, you would just walk through life doing it like everyone else. But then here comes a roadblock. Here comes a loss. Here comes a heartbreak. Here comes a roadblock of some kind. And you have to use your unique essence to figure out how to skirt around it and how to get to the other side. So it creates style. It creates personality, right? And then when you learn how to sidestep when difficult situations appear, that's where wisdom comes from. We are here on this planet to serve, you know, like if you're here, if you're breathing right now, like you have healing to do and you have service to do. Yeah, that's where the balance is. That's where it's not selfish, because you do need time to process and heal the traumatic stuff that you've been through. So that's where the time for yourself is necessary, right? Not a what's it called? Like a reward. Time for yourself is not a reward. You do need to like have an understanding of why you've been through what you've been through, what you've learned from what you've been through. And then you take all of that pain and you transmute it into wisdom that you share with the world. We're going to pull one more card. And we're going to ask for advice about this earth-water push-pull. We have all these oppositions in the sky right now, and they're oppositions between earth and water, between your intuition and emotions, water, pulling and pushing against practicality, reality, groundedness. Isn't that our generation? I was thinking of that commercial. Yeah. I had to. Beautiful. So we're going to ask the Animal Apothecary deck just for some advice on the push-pull with the earth and water right now. Greg's been listening to Taylor Eaton. If you guys are interested in human design, Taylor Eaton, she taught me almost everything I know. My wisdom and unique perspective are worthy of massive compensation. Reading that out loud reminds me of huge blocks that I had with that. Yes, please, scream it from the rooftops. We're asking for advice for the earth and water push-pull. Today's been great. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer a donation in the form if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated and never expected. If you haven't yet followed me on Insight Timer, feel free to do so. That quote gave Karen chills on your belly. That's awesome. My link tree is available in my Insight Timer bio. It's just a website that has all of my websites in it. So that's how you can find, oh wow. That's how you can find my YouTube channel. I post the replay of all these sessions on my YouTube channel. You can find my TikTok there. You can find my Facebook. You can find my website so that you can book a donation-based service with me if you'd like. Yeah, in alignment with these cards that we just pulled, I'm just here to serve. I'm just here to take the life that I lived and the lessons that I've learned from it and like share it with y'all. So that's why I'm here. Go Greg. Everyone loves that. Everyone loves that quote. Yeah, Taylor Eaton. She's a human design lady. She's also all about, she's a money mindset coach with the human design, and that's what she's focusing on now is the money mindset. She's great though. She's taught me a lot. The biggest message that she's putting out right now is that relaxation time is necessary. And then the Enneagram teacher that I'm learning from, that she's talking about how that is called neutral flow, right? So like you do need time, meditation time, or just like when you're in the flow, when you're doing something and you're not learning and you're not teaching, you're just enjoying. That's where the inspiration and the hits come from. Taylor Eaton is on YouTube. Yeah, that's like her main thing right now. And then I recommend signing up for her email list. She sends out a lot of good stuff. And she also has like a group thing going on right now that I'm not familiar with, but that's it. Okay, so advice for the water and earth push-pull. This card has come out multiple times. Card number 41 is an unknown gift. This card keeps coming for us here. Unknown gift, Nightingale of Paradise. The Nightingale card comes when you have a profound gift that you are not currently aware of. A great endurance of difficulties leads you to unveiling the diamond within. This card, is a gem to receive. Feel honored. Right, Anik? Mind blown. There is no other card that foretells such a bounty. This gift is beyond your wildest dreams, and you possess it. Your gift is something that every cell in your body yearns to self-actualize. It is one of your most exciting and fulfilling purposes. This card is not about fixing anything or giving you the perfect solution or guidance to a current obstacle. You receive the honor of this card when grace allows you a small knowing that there is an as yet undiscovered talent within. It may take months or years to reveal this gift, but it is there, and it will come to you as clear as the noonday sun, something your truest self has always longed to actualize. Nightingale's medicine has a special message for you. You are being asked to endure time and uncertainty. For you are still in the night season, little one. Soon you will understand, and you will be able to share your gift with the world. But you must wait, as there is a reason that your gift's greatness needs time to actualize in this material realm. Beyond this, it is too mysterious to explain. Please be patient. A reality of yourself beyond your current depth of awareness awaits you. Keep the faith. You have no idea how much the wait will be worth it. Get excited for the immensity of this gift within. It's big, very big. Greg loves it too. This is just so beautiful. Think about that seed that we're going to plant using our unwanted emotions right now, right? Think about that seed. Does the seed think that it's going to grow into a beautiful plant, flower, fruit, whatever? Like if you are that seed, do you think the seed can conceptualize that one day I'm going to be this miraculous, beautiful thing? Probably not. So it's the same with your insecurities, your fears, your anger, whatever, your self-doubt. Plant it. Allow it to transform. You're in the darkness right now. The seed has to go down into the soil. Darkness isn't a bad thing. It's needed. It's part of the process. It's literally in you, and it might not be conscious to conceptualize at this moment. Does that make sense? Bridget and Gina, thank you guys for your donations. I appreciate them. Suzanne and Christine love this card. Carolyn just joined the live right on this card reveal. I love it. This was advice for that water and earth push-pull. We have 3 oppositions in the sky between water, our emotions, and earth, practicality. I would plant those emotions. Like, this is just so duh. Plant those emotions. This card also talked about you have to take the time to let it process. You can't rush it. On the day that Saturn is stationing direct, Saturn is father time. Saturn keeps us on time. Saturn probably brought a lot of these unwanted emotions to you right now, this moment, so that you would plant them, because it's the perfect amount of gestation time for them to process and open up before they're needed to serve the world, right? All these cards were all about wisdom and service. Sandy sums it up pretty well. I would agree. Anne, thank you so much for your donation. Greg, so feeling the take and allow the time. Yeah, no need to rush. We are our wheels are starting to turn forward. We've been in a really heavy retrograde season for most of the summer. Like, it started in the summer. All the outer planets stationed retrograde. So like everything was moving backwards. Everything was really slow, really muddy, heavy to pick up your feet and go. It was a time of reflection. And a couple weeks ago, we had Pluto stationed direct. Now we have Saturn stationing direct. As the time advances, in about a month, Neptune, and then Chiron, and then Jupiter, and then Uranus. Like, by the end of January, we're going to be chugging ahead. So the time is coming, right? But don't rush it. This is a time of planting. This really feels like a time of planting, especially coming off of eclipse season. You still have the opportunity to plant eclipse seeds, right? It takes 6 months for the eclipses to actually take full effect. We're just a few weeks off of eclipse season, so go ahead and plant those seeds. If you want more information about this eclipse season, there is a podcast available on my YouTube channel. You can find it in my link tree, which is in my Insight Timer bio. I did a podcast with another astrologer named Max, and we just reviewed the 2 eclipses that just happened in October. And yeah, those energies transpire for 6 months. So it's not too late to listen to that episode, just to give you a different explanation of the eclipses, because I have my style and other astrologers have their style. So listen around, take from everyone, take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's see when I'm back next. I'll be back on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week. Wow, all Jacqui all the time. I was away for 3 weeks and now I just won't get out of your face. Just kidding. I'll be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:15 Central Time. Thank you guys for being here today. Take that pain, turn it into wisdom, share it with the world. And as long as your intentions are pure, you're doing enough. Find that trust in yourself. You deserve to have that trust in yourself. Love to all. Namaste. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Thank you for the gift of your energy. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your follows. Thanks for liking and subscribing on all my platforms and all that stuff. Like, that helps me out. So if you guys want to give that back, everything is appreciated. I'll see you guys on Monday.